Right now, it's even more apparent that if you didn't have music,
oh,
Jesus.
Yeah.
The Alien Sex Fiend radio show.
This is Mrs. Fiend.
This is Nik Fiend calling Earth. 1983. So we booked up, went over to Pineapple Studios in Southall for a couple of days. Youth was going to produce us, so we get in the studio, and he's like, right, Nick, right, we're doing Wish I Was a Dog and I'm a Product, aren't we?
Well, that's what you told
That's
him.
what I told him, and that's what was on the tape, that he somehow now had thought, right, we're going to do that he thought was mental. So I went, no, we're doing that new one. And he goes, what one's that? And I goes, well, we'll play you a bit. And we played him a bit, and he went, well, you cuff. And off we went.
That was the one with the cross rhythms that he was on about.
Yeah,
so.
Here we go. And it went straight into number one. We thought it was another band called Alien Sex Fiend. So we're having a look through the charts in...
Music Press.
Yeah, sounds or whatever. And it's like, number one, Ignore the Machine, Alien Sex Fiend. And I remember you going to me, is there another band called Alien Sex Fiend?
Just
Right?
it was
like,
unbelievable.
hell no.
Yeah.
Probably floated back to the record company and went, hell look.
Yeah, it was
You know.
our first. So it was our first ever single, and here we go.
Sunrise come every morning. Sunrise come every morning, bringing back the wolf to the ground. everybody's got, and everybody's got what everybody needs. Soldier lies bleeding. Oh, you leave me dying. Everybody's got what everybody wants, and everybody wants what everybody's got. Everybody wants what everybody's got, and everybody needs.
Whoa.
An experience.
I had a moment. I was back in Pineapple Studios.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, you've done amazing. I mean, you'd come in. Do you want to be in the band? Yaxie had verified that. You know, asked you himself. Fucking hell, the
that was a
keyboards.
moment.
Jesus, mate.
That was a moment, wasn't it?
Yeah.
What's amazing is that
Fucking hell.
you did that vocal straight off.
Yeah.
And then you turned round and said, "Right, Nick, are you going to do another vocal?" And you went, "What?"
You must be.
You went, "Oh, well, that's a ghost vocal, isn't it?" No. That's it. I've just done it.
It's got drums all over it and noise all over it. It's like, well, fucking, that's what I'm singing to.
And I think at that time, well, I mean, we had never done it before, but I think at that time no one quite appreciated that the band was all about playing in the moment and being in the moment, and Nick's voice was reacting to what he heard Yaxie playing on guitar, what Johnny was doing on the drums.
And what I felt.
Absolutely in the moment and capturing that
Yeah.
moment, and that's something that we've always tried to continue to do.
When I was laying on the floor with Turret listening to playback, finally, you know, you
As
should
you do.
set it up.
As you do.
I honestly, crossed my heart, I thought I'd fucking levitated.
Oh, I did, definitely.
I just never heard anything in my life like that,
No.
and to feel part of that is just mind-blowing.
It was immense, wasn't it?
Yeah,
It was
the
immense.
power and the...
And then, of course, there was the dub version as well, which
Yeah.
was like, whoa.
But I mean, not only you on the keyboards with like, so how the fuck you achieved all that and got all that down, but poor old Yaxie, I mean, he had a 30 quid fucking Woolworths guitar that was going out of tune by the end of the song.
Well, he did 4 takes, didn't he?
Yeah, yeah.
And the thing was,
He
let's
was-
say, let's say normal guitarists, inverted commas, normal in quotations, normal guitarists do a track of rhythm and a track of lead. Oh no, with B.B.F.C everything was as it happened in the moment, again all about feel. So Youth said to him, I've got no idea what's going on with these guitars, you'll have to sort them out, which he did. So what you've heard in the guitar front's actually
exactly
B.B.F.C doing it.
What he wanted. Yeah.
Another moment I remember was up at Glasgow Night Moves when we actually had a copy of the test pressing and we hadn't heard it on a big system since the studio.
Fucking hell.
And it's a nightclub and I suddenly thought, can you dance to this? I hadn't even
you got
thought
it played
about
on the deck,
and it just sounded immense and it was like,
I think we were doing like a real knees up Mother Brown to it up and down the fucking dance hall.
Oh, you can dance to that all
yeah,
right. But
God.
It wasn't something we'd even thought about.
No, I didn't.
Could you dance to it?
No, it wasn't we'll make a dance record. It
No.
was like you could dance to it, some peculiar
And then, of course,
fashion.
a couple of years later, Sanny X took it on and turned it into the electrode mix, and that was very much,
I heard half of that down the
Dance
phone from... We were in Berlin, and James at the record company, James Oryx, he just said, "Here, Nick, you've got to listen to this," and blew my mind, because it was like, how the fuck has he done that with Ignore?
Yeah, there was no tape, was there?
He had 2 copies of the record.
We're sorry to say the master tape got erased.
Yeah.
Not our fault. Oh, the other funny thing was that originally there was talk about editing Ignore the Machine short, because I think it's 6 minutes 40, something like that, and it was considered a bit too long for a single. We were like, you can't edit that, and Youth absolutely stuck to his guns and backed us up.
The Alien Sex Fiend Radio Show.
1984.
Now you are going to hear a rag joke.
That's a good one.
Fucking hell.
Back to the Acid Bath album in 1984.
Yeah, fucking hell. That was after the American tour where we run out of petrol up in the Rocky Mountains. There was like fucking feet of ice and snow. A sheet of ice. We drove down at 5 in the morning into the sunrise. Broke down in the desert. The sheriff with a gun. Turret walking down the road with Dave, and the next thing the sheriff's got his car door open, bent over the top, just like out of the movies, with his gun out, going,
Oh, no.
"What the fuck are you doing in my town?" Fucking hell! Holy shit!
There were positives. We got to see the Aurora Borealis in Canada.
Yeah.
God, I remember we drove past Lake Superior. I mean, we were in a minibus, and we just drove past that for about 2 or 3 days, and the scenery outside never changed. It was like
Yeah.
people would go to sleep, wake up, and go, "Have I been to sleep?" Because the scenery is still exactly the same. That was a monumental.
It's all in acid bath, isn't it?
Yeah.
But
So
the fact we were still alive,
was a miracle.
Well, there you go, and that's what I thought. If we go in and record, it'll be a blessing. If we can get back in one piece after all these experiences, what we just had, and relate that, and I think that's what you're hearing,
yeah.
without being carried
Well, the whole
away.
album's like that.
Yeah, it was like rejoicing, really, that we were still fucking on planet Earth. It was quite a weird fucking experience, and it went
was
on for
hard.
several
That was
weeks.
tough.
It was tough. Yeah.
Oh yeah, we
No food, no sleep, no.
It was
doing-
one monumental drive from, I think it was San Diego via
God.
Las Vegas.
And we were driving it like in a minibus type fucking thing,
Yeah.
with all the fucking gear and everything, and 6 of us in the end.
Touring can be pretty intense at the best of times, and in a minibus going right across Canada and then all the way back across America, anyone's nerves would get a bit frazzled. But so we ended up having to re-record Dead and Reburied for the album because we'd recorded the single in a very flash studio called Jacobs, and there were all sorts of legal wranglings after that, and basically we couldn't use those versions for the album, so we had to re-record. So and you're glad we did, aren't you? Yeah, because I think then that way that the whole album, which was recorded in not a very long time at Aosis Studios, was much more like a
For
piece of a one.
me, we've done the demo, which we've done at Tommy's little 8-track, and that's fucking great. It's got its own thing. Then when we've done the
singles and
single,
that.
it's got its own thing. But we were totally fucked, paying ridiculous studio fees for one reason or another. We got caught up in some fucking nightmare, and so doing Acid Bath, grabbing Kevin Armstrong, who I'd known since I was a little punker, and grabbing him and said, "Would you come and produce us?" Because Youth was doing loads of different stuff for executive stacks and all sorts of shit. We grabbed Kevin and we just, we got the graveyard shift, managed to get Acid Bath recorded, which is a fucking miracle that was still alive, and we just about did the night shift and managed to get the tracks down, and we managed to get She's a Killer back from the studio where we'd done the singles. So we'd laid down a primary She's a Killer, and then we added to that and re-recorded bits and everything. So great fucking times. I mean, wow. 1985.
I'm talking to the old, the young, and the new. I'm talking to the boy, the man, I'm talking to you. Something old, something borrowed, and something blue. All's not well on the Western Front, in front of the telly, in and out of my mind, in and out of my mind, in and out of my mind. Feel me talking, feel my heartbeat, feel the pulse in the line, in and out of my mind, in and out of my mind.
Whoa. Oh, it's quite
Fucking
atmosphere
hell.
on that.
Yeah. It was a desperate album, you know.
Well, John had just left,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I couldn't believe actually when I went through the archive looking at maximum security stuff for the recent 35-year anniversary, which in and out of my mind was on, that within 6 weeks we started recording that album with John leaving. It was unbelievable, but the three of us were just felt that we'd only just started with the band, and we don't stop me now, I'm too far out. you know.
Yeah.
To quote Herman Munster from the the Munsters. I nearly said the Crowds. But yeah, Lux did remind us of Herman Munster at times.
Oh, yeah. Oh, bless.
But yeah, so I mean
Bless.
that tracks what happens when you leave Mrs Fiend on her own in a studio with an engineer and our driver Billy. Nik had to go down to see his father who'd gone into hospital, and he actually took him down in the car, and I was in the studio on my own, and I was well aware that every minute is tight, costs money.
Yeah.
Every minute's time. Sorry, put my teeth back in. Cost money in the studio, so I wasn't going to just sit there for however many hours till they got back and not do anything. So I said to the engineer, Richard Preston, who was a fantastic bloke, I've got a couple of ideas. Oh, he said, let's hear them then. So I put them forward to him. Well, let's get on recording them. So with In and Out, Billy was sitting in, I had a guero. We always had all sorts of little bits and bobs of percussion hanging about. And Billy had picked up the guero and was tapping it along with the tune as I was doing it. And I said, Bill, why don't you record some? So Richard set him up with a microphone, and so Bill tapped along. And then when Nik and we also recorded Seconds to Nowhere, and then when Nik and Yaxi reappeared, I said, "Oh well, this is what we've been doing," and they were like, "Wow, great!" You know, it's another 2 tracks towards the album. So
Well, it's great. It's great. Billy is on that because, like Bill, you know, I've worked with delivering tellies and everything, and he'd taken a chance and come and tour manage.
yeah,
And done what he could
oh,
in America.
did
Yeah,
loads,
amazing. Yeah,
driving.
amazing. Lighting with one light. Well, he had 2 light bulbs at one gig, like at St Patrick's Day, and they all went fucking mad. Like, and the light blew out.
Was that Cleveland?
It might have been, I don't know.
I think it was Cleveland in St Patrick's
fucking
Day on
mental.
the tour that you were talking about,
Yeah,
1984.
yeah. So Bill had been through all that shit with us, and so it's nice to have him on the track. He was a really good guy,
Yeah,
beyond what you call
top,
a friend.
top.
He drove us about. He'd even got a chauffeur's hat sort of thing.
Oh, for a
But
joke, yeah.
For a joke, because he had a nice Jag, like a gangster one. And he used to, bless his heart, he drove us fucking all over the gaffer. We couldn't have done half of it at the hours with the studios and what have you.
That was a beautiful car. I mean,
Yeah.
he had a really good sound system in there.
And a good sense of humour, yeah.
And sit in the back of that thing, it was like being in a mobile
Well,
lounge with the
he
best
must have had a good
speakers.
sense of humour, because the wages would make you laugh.
Experience though, wasn't it? Oh,
Yeah,
you
fuck,
know,
yeah,
that,
yeah.
That was the thing. It was such an experience.
So
Yeah, when Nick and Yaxi came back in the studio, they
just
then
went, wow, fucking
added,
hell, Chris, that is
added their
diamond.
bits, and
Yeah.
Within and Out was a bit of a feat of engineering, because the original piece that I'd done was, I think, 2 minutes long, and Richard said, "Oh, I'll tell you what we can," after having a chat with you and Yaxi, because you felt it was too short, he said we'll just
I wanted to put words on it, yeah.
stick more bits together, so it turned a 2-minute track into a 6-minute track. So there we go.
Yeah, I didn't want to leave the studio, obviously, but the thing is that anybody knows, like, when it's your family and the shit's hitting the fan sort of thing, try and help them, you know. So I went bombing down there. Yaxi was good, he just walked about on the seafront, so I could see the old man and that. So that's all going through my mind as well then, you know, so words weren't a problem, you know, in and out of my mind, you know, thinking about you.
Absolutely, yeah.
The Alien Sex Fiend radio show.
The other little bit I should say is that what was brilliant was that the 3 of us stuck together to do that.
Oh, everyone thought when we presented Maximum Security, everybody thought we'd gone mad. But I mean, it wasn't the first time. We'd been called mad before anyway. So it really
mad shit, you know.
The 3 of us thought it was great, as did Bill and the engineer.
Yeah, we lose ourselves in it. It's a gooey, stark thing. It's very fucking peculiar.
Well,
I understand some people going, you know, after a more psychobilly sort of bone shaker or whatever. I understand some people going, you know, you lost the fucking plot or what. Well, we probably did, because we've been through quite a lot. So what was the great thing? Although we lost the plot, we were actually able to put that down on wax, and that is fucking a testament. You know, we didn't give in. It's in life, it's much easier to go, I'll conform, alright, you know, fuck it, yeah, we'll all fucking pack it up and get sensible fucking jobs. It wasn't an option to me.
No.
With what I'd experienced with, like, you know, a fucking day job turning into a nightmare. I've had my head split in half by a fucking winch cable. You know, I've had day jobs. I want to do fucking music. I'm still alive somehow.
Yeah.
After doing fucking day jobs.
Yeah.
Where I nearly got killed, hijacked, fucking my head split open, like I said. That's doing a fucking... I know what a day job is about. I know who the fuck I am. I know that I should have worked in Fords because I was brought up in Dagenham. I know. What is wonderful, you know, and why sometimes I'm a mouthy cunt is, I'm going to fucking do this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to get out of this fucking mess and I'm going to do something.
Well, it's quite funny looking back to, you know, what's it, 30 years ago now with Maximum Security.
35.
Yeah. 35, oh gosh, sorry.
No, that is how peculiar life's been, isn't it? 1 minute, you know, right, there's the 3 of us, we're going to do Maximum Security. You blink, fart, pull a chain, and it's 35 years ago. you know, cheers to that. So cheers to the three of us and good, our good friends who stuck by us, give us somewhere to sleep.
Here we go.
Somewhere
Cheers,
to
chat.
sleep, somewhere to fucking be. They believed in what we were doing like we did, and that is how we made that record. It is a fucking miracle. And also a Cherry Red being brave enough to put it out. Because there weren't nothing like it. Again, it was like, what the fuck's this?
That's always
I
a good
dunno.
sign, I think.
Yeah.
When people go, what the fuck's this?
doing a couple of paintings, which I didn't know at the time what the titles were going to be. One turned out to be It, and the other one was Son of It, and they were facing each other, and I had an excess of oil sort of paint left over, so I was doing two paintings at once, and all of a sudden, from nowhere, I walked the line between good and evil coming into my head. I'm like, fucking hell, wow. I stopped painting, I went over to this desk, got some paper and a paintbrushy sort of pen. I walked the line between good and evil. Fucking hell, this apple's rotten to the cook. Jesus fucking. Oh, and then it just stopped. It stopped at the end of the first verse. I walked the line, I walked the line, I walked the line. That's it. Nothing else come to me. Anyway, I thought no more of it, and it was on the side, and I put it with my lyric book. Went back, done the paintings and everything like that. We then booked a session to go in Tommy Desmond's, which was like an absolutely fucking brilliant studio. A lovely man, yeah. Him and his wife Maureen. Maureen used to make us tea and have lovely cakes and everything. So we're going the hallway because the studio was what should have been a normal person's front room.
Yeah.
And it was all padded, like a padded cell. And basically like the size of like a toilet where you could just fit your arse in there, like them ones at the supermarket.
The mixing room, you mean?
Yeah, the mixing room was the size of a toilet, so you could only have Tommy could get in there, and he was quite portly, so I could just about squeeze in without rubbing bum cheeks and get on the mixing desk. Yeah, but
perhaps that's why it was designed that way.
Yeah, so we went in and unbeknown, we ended up recording I Walk the Line, and I'd put other words spontaneously, some maybe earlier, just things I'd jotted down, something like that, some jumble-wumble.
John Peel thought we'd done a cover version of Johnny Cash's. Guy on Instagram said,
yeah,
apparently it's on Wikipedia or something, we're listed in having done a cover version of Johnny Cash's I Walk the Line, and I had to say to him, no, we didn't.
No.
We hadn't even heard
not
Johnny Cash's version at the time.
My stepdad used to love all that Johnny Cash, because we had
yeah.
a moment years later, but the first time I heard it, and it's like, bum, 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 I walk the line, and it's like, oh, fucking hell. No, I didn't know. I think people thought we were joking or taking a piss or whatever. No.
Completely different song. Bun-Ho, Time After Time.
1988. Yeah.
Bun.
Bam, bam.
Yeah, you're expecting the next bit to come
Such a good cut. Like,
into another planet.
yeah.
Yeah, so, well, that was off the Another Planet album, wasn't it?
Oh,
We had so many different mixes of that one.
yeah.
Loads of them.
Yeah.
I remember my brain was being completely fried.
Oh, it's mental.
Sitting, doing, cause I had all the sample stuff and the sequencing stuff was all in the mixing room, which wasn't a very big mixing room. And I was sitting right slap next to a 6-foot-high speaker
Whilst
and
that
deafening myself.
Whilst that was playing, Kevin, bless him, who kept trying to get some sort of order to proceedings, come up and ask Chris for the keys because he wanted to go back over our flat, like, and go to bed because he'd fucking had enough.
Well, his brain was fried.
He was fried.
He'd put all the guitar down.
Yeah.
I was manfully carrying on with the sample stuff.
Yeah.
He got to the point where he just
He
about
didn't
to collapse.
know who he was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I ended up sitting out in the office. I could still hear it full pelt out there while you and Len, bless him, Len the Whiz, sat there and painstakingly went through all the sample stuff and somehow made sense of it. But it still sounds completely mental.
Yeah.
There was just samples on top of samples on top of samples.
I think that's where Kevin sort of bailed out, like, you know, because
Well, sometimes it's a bit like a baton, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like you do whatever you can, and the next hand it on to the next person who does whatever they can. They hand it on, and it goes round in a circle. Sometimes there's one man standing. Sometimes you're all flat out. So you just keep going till you get the job done. Really.
I fucking love that track. I love that guitar, that dang, like, just fucking hell.
It's quite severe, isn't it?
Oh, mate. I remember somebody out in Germany on one of the fucking tours going, what's that fucking
Bun-Ho.
Bun-Ho all about? What's that mean? And I'm like, I don't know.
It was a sample of your voice is what it was. So yeah, that was a bit of madness off Another Planet. So we're into 1988 now. So we've zoomed. Well, we've only done 6 years so far.
Fucking Jesus. Help! Fucking help. So much has happened. It's good to have the opportunity to actually reflect on it, not feel proud, but sort of like fucking wow. Jesus, the intensity as well. I can feel all them different times in our life, you know, different shit going on. Like everybody has shit going on, but we've captured it, and the intensity or the feeling or whatever it is, it's just locked in that like a time capsule.
Well, that's what I like about. Sorry, but that's why I'm still in it.
That's why I'm still in it. I ain't got a clue what is going on other than why I like it.
It's constantly intriguing, but you get to do 1 minute an atmospheric one.
Yeah,
another
floaty
minute,
or
another minute something that's maybe a bit dancey. Another minute it's like
tear your fucking
on
liver out. Yeah,
industrial. You know, madness or almost like a ball of noise, but there's sense in there.
I mean, that's 88.
And everything in
that's
between.
Just like, I mean, the sampling and all the stuff you got up to was just legendary, you know, of Germs and Planet. It's just fucking mental. A different collision of sound and it just the chance that it gave us to make even more sort of colourful cut-up things, you know.
Oh yeah. Technology's been massively helpful.
It's a godsend, yeah, because I mean each time...
To me, anyway.
Well, each time that we sort of like look like, what do we do now? Something thank fuck, sort of turned up that you could make a racket on and still continue with the, is it the ethos of what it's all about ever since day one.
I was just about to burp. You're looking at me. It's like if I answer, I think a burp might pop out.
The Alien Sex Fiend Radio Show.
1990.
Are you sitting comfortably? No.
Now I'm feeling zombified. Face is white. And my eyes is tired.
banter in the performance. Again, it's the same thing as how we started.
Yeah.
And God, and we used to play that live. There's one classic version from, I think it was Japan tour in '91. It's about 15 minutes long, and you'd just get lost. And sometimes live, I'd be really off on one with the spaceships and everything interweaving and echo and stuff at the end.
Yeah.
I'd be completely gone. I do remember looking at one time and all three of you were looking at me. I was the only one still going.
I think that it's still a special song as well, because there's movement in that. For me, it's sort of like quite a lot of freedom.
So Zombified now has become this massive sort of Halloween, especially song. It's one of the most favourite songs. That version there was off the Curse album. The single version's a bit different.
It's got the 70s fade and then fades back into
the psychedelic bit.
Yeah. Wow.
And I remember at the time when you decided to call it Now I'm Feeling Zombiefied. We did a massive discussion about how to spell zombified.
Well, I asked you if it was a word, because I wondered what the fuck I was on about.
Yeah.
But it sounded and felt great.
Yeah.
But it's like, is that a word?
And I didn't know if it was a word, but if it was zombified,
Yeah.
like petrified,
Yeah.
I didn't see why it wouldn't work. But what I was worried about was losing the E off zombie, because it would be zombified, really.
Yeah.
And would people actually know that you were referring to a zombie from the title? Once they'd heard the song and you're going zombie, they'd realise it was zombified. But just to read the title, you wouldn't know necessarily. You'd have to leap to it if it was spelt with an I. So that's why there's an E in there. I think we should contact the Oxford English Dictionary and find out. I remember looking it up in the dictionary and I couldn't find anything. In fact, I think I checked more than one dictionary to see if it already existed. So maybe we can state a claim for that one. What do you reckon?
Get hold of Susie Dent, I think.
Oh, yeah. Have a word.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've seen it misspelt more than once around, and it's like, I'm sure it's supposed to be with an E, but there we go.
Well, it gets used now. That's what's funny. At the
All the time.
Yeah. So at the time we were doing that, I didn't know if that was a word, and I asked you because your sort of understanding, comprehension of many things is far greater than mine. And
What are you trying to say?
You're intelligent.
Am I?
Yeah. Yeah, I ain't being funny. You are fucking intelligent. You're like, sort of, you're Google. Chris, what is...
You're the bloody oracle.
Yeah, the oracle, you are. In ancient Greece, you'd be in a cave and people would become worshipping and you'd be imparting your wisdom.
No, thank you. Yeah, so it's still a bit of a puzzle to this day about whether zombified's a real word, whether Nik made it up or what. We don't have no idea.
Ain't got a fucking clue, but it is what it is. Yeah,
we'll lay claim to that one.
Yeah. No, it's
it's great fun playing that live. It really is.
Yeah, you get lost in that song. It is very unusual, and really good recollections of doing that. Doc was going to throw the guitar out the window, I think, when I asked him to do some additional guitar on the dub section just to let himself go, and he felt he couldn't let himself go because we hadn't had a big spliff. Then we had a big spliff, and then he still felt frustrated, and I'm going to throw this fucking guitar out the fucking window, I've had enough. I said, no you ain't. Why? He goes, because he was such a nice guy, even his anger sounded quite light. Why? Because it's my fucking guitar, and if you throw that out the fucking window, I'll throw you out the fucking window. Oh, fair enough, and he had another go, and how beautiful was that?
The rest is, they say, is history.
Yeah.
So moving on from the Curse album, which in fact it's just hit 30-year anniversary, weirdly, so that's quite a moment,
a coincidence.
Isn't it? Yeah, that's a moment. Yeah.
It's good to reflect on it. Like I said, there's a lot of good feeling about it. We created a monster that we didn't really know. We knew we were all absolutely in love with it. It was fucking...
Well, we
you
ended
just
up...
get locked in, don't you, like a trance.
Oh, yeah. We ended up doing a video to it as well, and that ended up on MTV, which Beavis and Butthead then championed. And we just got recognised in every diner in the middle of nowhere. Oh, can you sign autographs? I've seen you on MTV, which is very bizarre.
Yeah.
And it's continued to this day, that whole thing. So it's crazy sort of times, really, and a good tune. But yeah, mate.
Yeah,
Beavis and Butthead, bring back the dead guy.
Again, like I Walk the Line, you know, it's sort of where did that come from? It's sort of like, you know, why would now I'm Feeling Zombiefied plop into your head? And then you're like, well, what the fuck, Zombified? And you start singing it, and you go, oh yeah, it really works as a fucking tune and everything. And still, is it a word? You know, I don't know, because I was never, you know, top at English. You know, after about 7 years old, I never fucking listened, to be honest with you.
You knew what you needed to know.
Yeah, well, I did. Oh, yeah. 1997. blimey. Mate of ours, Jez said, I think about every May that he just he always seems to stick Nocturnal Emissions on, and I mean his first gig was
Sheffield Leadmill.
Leadmill, yeah.
T4, I think.
Yeah, acid bath sort of time and that. And,
he calls it his summer album, doesn't he?
Yeah, it's just something different. Yeah,
Well, that was our kind of version of drum and bass, twisted though it may be.
yeah, sort of a bit mutant and a bit of sort of Starsky and Hutch fucking wah guitar and.
Oh, the wah guitar, that was Matt.
Yeah,
Matt
and
Pod did.
wow.
Yeah,
Oh.
Matt Pod did the guitar on that.
Oh, I can hear all sorts of.
There is all sorts.
Yeah, it's fucking. You know, I appreciate it's mental.
I
but
don't think it's quite got the kitchen sink on, but it was a close thing, that.
Yeah, but it was all filtered basically through 8-track. Yeah, you know, even myself, I sort of think, fuck me, you have lost it. But it's quite glorious in a way. It's sort of like, wow,
Oh,
fucking hell, that's mental.
Some of the noises are great, aren't they? It's like,
We-
all these years and we haven't really changed.
I don't think you do. I mean, you just get older. You know,
Don't remind me.
yeah, but also you sort of like, the thing is, time's precious, isn't it? And I think what we've been lucky, we've been able to experiment, and we've, you know, people have supported us, and we have done some pretty peculiar fucking things.
No, really?
Well,
Have we?
the thing is that we're still searching. I still feel, you know, at the moment,
More to come.
even now, yeah, there's more to come. My brain don't stop with those bits falling in. You know, I walk the line. It's sort of like, oh fucking hell, and off I go.
Yeah.
I understand other people wanting to get off because they're dizzy or whatever. They just think, fuck, this cunt don't stop.
Well, he does.
No.
It's always something festering, as you said a long time ago.
Well,
Something cooking in their cauldron.
yeah. Well, you're the only one that can be round it sort of 24/7, and I mean, other people have to have their distance, don't they? You know, somehow you get it.
Yeah, I think I've got used to it. Is it 42 years now?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
78.
Yeah.
Yeah, fucking bang on actually. Yeah. Oh shit.
Oh,
Yeah. Spooky.
About a month away from 42 years since we met.
Yeah.
As we record this.
Yeah. That just changed.
Oh shit! I shouldn't do that.
It changed the destiny of mankind.
Twilight's only be wanting royalties for that one.
Oh God, there's two of them. Fucking hell. What a fucking trip. It's a bit like magic mushrooms where you go through different stages. I did, at any rate, like chapters. And that's what the music feels like. All chapters of, you know, all day yesterday sort of thing. You know, like, oh, I remember that. And yeah, it's all caught in there, isn't it? It's lovely. And it's such a, no two parts, although they're similar, are totally alike. You know, we've just gone off on some pretty weird tangents there.
Yeah.
But we've been with some great people as well, and it is that time and those times that you spent, Lowell and Caro, when they come...
Oh, Lowell from the drum club.
Yeah, when they come down, and we had such a fucking laugh, and same with Youth, and the same with Dan, Samani, and
Zamani.
and Matt Pod, you know, like, the thing is
Top
that...
people.
Top
people, mate.
Maybe we did get self-indulgent, which can happen, but I'm really glad we experimented, because I mean, half of it even freaks my nut out now. I just think, fucking hell, and it's so fucking bouncing as well. You know,
yeah.
it ain't sort of, oh yeah, we're all mellowed out now. It's like, fucking Jesus, like.
No, I don't think. Listen, I don't think it's ever going to be mellow as long as you're in the band.
Twisted.
And like when we were working, when I played Doc the demo of, I think it was Shit Down, the demo of that, he looked at me and went, "It's a bit violent, isn't it?" It's all a bit. And you seem such a nice girl, you know. It's a bit violent. It's like, oh yeah, mate.
He was so funny, wasn't he? Because he'd look at you over the top of his glasses, a bit like a doctor would. Or something. Yeah, a doc. Yeah.
It's a bit violent.
Yes. Ooh.
Oh yeah, no.
Oh, he
that's
joined
the,
in. He's fucking.
but that's the
loved
punk
it.
roots
Yeah.
again coming out, isn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
It's like that punk just gave you, me, a lot of people that absolute energy rush of bang, go, do it.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
and I just can't imagine us being like all cosy, you know, like, oh, it's all lovely, because it fucking ain't all lovely. You only look out the door or at the world, and it's like,
Yeah.
shit going on.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, you
it's
don't
going
have
to
to look far.
reflect. It's going to reflect in the music.
Also, as you get older, you don't have to look far to find somebody else in a far worse fucking situation, which is not funny, but it does make you count your blessings.
Just shifting my bottom.
Yeah. Your beautiful arse.
Ooh.
Be there.
On which point? On which note?
Yeah, so where we at?
We're now skipping towards 2000. Well, I don't know about skipping, but you know, moving towards 2004 and information overload.
Holy
So,
fucking shit.
so it's
That
a
was
bit
on
of
my
a,
mind all the other day. God, I couldn't stop that. Hey.
it's a bit of a leap, but there's a lot of reasons for that.
Yeah.
Because your dad died in
Yeah.
'99.
Yeah, I sort of
We
went
did.
into
It
I
was
think-
a
black hole, yeah.
It was difficult. We did Fiend at the Controls, the double compilation. There was also a best of that came out in 2001.
I was still productive.
that we were involved
yeah,
in.
you still fuck me. Yeah, you
And
still
we
do your
had
thing,
a
man.
house move, which was absolutely major. So all in all, we did start work on what was to become the Information Overload album in about '98, but it all got put on hold. We worked on bits through like '99, 2000, but eventually it didn't actually come out up here. We'd hoped we'd get it out in about 2003, but one thing and another, it didn't come out till 2004. And it's a bit of a corker.
Oh, yeah.
Alien Sex Fiend Radio Show.
2004. Fucking hell.
Crikey. There was nothing else you could do at the end of that, was there, except to go blah, blah, blah.
Gee. Yeah, melt. Yeah.
Information. Oh. It really comes at you. It's exactly like an information
I
overload.
remember you were sat in my lap. Well, I think we were. I can't remember. We were putting something.
I think we were checking tracks of Fiendology. You know?
Yeah, I think you're fucking right. But you sat in my lap, and I was bouncing about. You know, just playback.
We levitate you, do we?
Yeah, because you know, like all things, it wasn't the uppermost sort of thought in my head at the time. You know, and I thought, oh right, I'll check that out. And fuck me. You were sat on my lap, and I remember bouncing you about. Just,
No.
well, no, just joyfully, like, just like, fucking Jesus Christ, the fucking, holy fucking shit.
That goes into sort of metal department, doesn't it? That
It
one.
does,
That
yeah.
guitar.
I mean, it's
Courtesy
yeah.
of Slice, we should add.
Yeah.
And also
yeah.
that mix was done by Slice as well.
Yeah. No, that was a fine old time, short-lived, but fucking hell, that's, well, you can feel the intensity there. Fuck me.
Well, we've been having to do some work on the house, hadn't we? And it
Yeah.
had involved quite a lot of knocking off of plaster, and I think that got reflected in the album, and certainly tracks like that, and probably Mother Burn, because I remember there would be four people hammering,
Yeah.
you, me, and a couple of people that were helping us out, all hammering plaster off walls at the same time.
Trying to get it fucking
And
done.
I'm not
Yeah.
sure if it's that tune, Information Overload, or whether it was Mother.
Oh, yeah.
Mother.
Motherfucker.
That ended up, there were 6 bass drums at the end because to layer the bugger up. And I can't remember which one it is. I haven't actually looked at the.
That's a miracle
Set
that
up for a
album
while.
even happened, Information Overload, you know, like with one thing
Oh
another.
well,
Yeah,
because
so-
we were right in the middle of moving and everything,
Oh,
and we
fuck
couldn't.
me, it all happened, didn't it?
We couldn't fit all the studio as such was in the process of being, well, plastered and built and what have you. So most of the gear was in a cupboard under the stairs, and we didn't have room for the computer section to fit in there as well. So we had to knock a hole in the wall and feed leads through. And there was a bed in the same room. It was absolute chaos.
Yeah.
But we got it
no,
done. We got it done, and what a result, man.
Yeah,
What a
it
result.
was a fucking miracle, really, because I was like having them panic attacks where like it just come on you and you go, oh, fucking hell, I have to sit out in the fresh air, like, and just, I don't know, get my head back on. And it's fucking, you know, but you can feel the intensity of that. You'd think it's really together and angry, and I was like, I felt like at points full into pieces, really.
I can't remember whether it was a review or somebody said something about the bleeps on it, for, like modem bleeps.
Yeah.
And they said something like, only got broadband. And it's like, yeah, but...
Yeah, it's about 100 years ago, mate.
No, but broadband's quiet. Yeah, we did have broadband at that time, but it was quiet. There's no modem bleeping.
I just wanted it. The thing is, when you're making a record, you just want the sound like to make you feel like Alice in Wonderland or something, where you're entering the rabbit hole.
Well, it's computer. To me, it's a computer.
Yeah, you're going
bleep.
underground. You know,
It's
poof.
talking. It's so ahead of its time. I mean, 10 out of 10 on the lyrics, actually, mate. I must say.
Injustice.
After Injustice.
Yeah. Even.
And my favourite favourite line, internet porn, and because that's the one drop down in the whole whole song. Like, it's like, oh, a bit of light relief. Yeah, not for long. Internet porn and rubber excitement. Click here for further enticement.
Bang.
Bang, back in. Such a brilliant lyric, and it's so relevant even now.
Yeah.
Internet porn
Well,
and
it's the
rubber
biggest.
excitement.
It's probably the biggest clicking that goes
Clickbait,
on.
clickbait. That's what they talk about now. Clickbait, and so
Yeah.
you got it bang on the nail. But that was 2000. Well, you'd have written it earlier than 2004. It came out in 2004,
Oh,
and
I
we're in
think I was
2020.
I think I was arsing about with it from about 98.
But we're in 2020,
I know.
and it's still like information overload, especially these days. Psh,
Yeah.
everything at you at once, so it's still absolutely current, I think.
Yeah. Well, yeah, the way... I think the whole world's gone a bit weird since Leicester City won the Premiership.
You've said this
Yeah.
before.
Yeah.
This is only UK people would know this reference.
They nearly got relegated the year before, so they're...
Football we're talking about now.
Football. Soccer.
Soccer.
Yeah. And they nearly got relegated. So they're a football team in the UK. And they nearly got relegated, which means they go to a lower division.
Lower league.
Lose lots of money and probably end up in a lot of shit and hard times. And somehow they hung on. And the next year they won the Premiership. And I'm sure that because that was the most unbelievable feat, you know, like...
It's tilted the world on its axis and nothing's
Yeah.
been right ever since.
Yeah, there's this geezer like this, the centre forward, who just scored millions of goals, like Jamie Vardy, and they just stayed there and he kept banging them in, and ever since then, to me, the world's gone weirder. Like,
weirdly
all the
wrong.
weird, it's always been weird, but it got it's got very peculiar.
Oh yeah.
It still is peculiar, unfortunately, at the moment, but we've still got music, thank fuck, like I said earlier.
Well, talking about the world going weird,
Yeah.
we came up with quite an appropriate one, didn't we?
Yeah.
B.B.F.C, which does not stand for British Board of Film Classification, as some people mistakenly thought.
No, it's about some annoying people like in that, and what I find funny about it, it's sort of like letting off steam without actually punching anybody. 2010.
My, tasty. Blimey, that was quick.
Yeah, I'm in the
After
process.
all those long
I'm in the
ones.
process of making a cup of tea. I am addicted to PG tips.
Advertise it.
Oh, I'm addicted to tea. So I'm just making a cup of tea, but oh dear. Oh yep.
Oh, whoops. Hold that thought.
Fucking hell. Yeah. Well, you can talk about Bastard if you like. I'll be back.
That was Nik playing the guitar, actually. He first started playing guitar around 88, and some tunes, for example, Alien, that's on Another Planet, was actually from a guitar riff that he came up with, and I transposed it onto a bass line instead. So he's dabbled with guitar for quite a long time, and Bastard was that and Land of the Living Dead were two that actually feature his guitar playing. Land of the Living Dead's also got Gonzo on it, whereas this one is just Nik and me, so it's just the two of us, and it does make me laugh a bit because I like the way I've managed to get the T at the end of cunt in there, so with perfect diction so that you can understand the lyrics. And as Nik was saying, like, loads of people use this tune as a let off some steam tune. Someone was telling me that they play it when they get home from work and they've had a particularly hard day. They only wish that it was longer. And I said, well, you're just going to have to put it on repeat, aren't you? But it just again, it's punk. It's right back to punk days. Someone said that, didn't they? They said it was the best punk record they've heard that wasn't recorded in the days of punk.
What's the?
Oh, he's back with his tea.
Yeah, I'm back with my tea. It's like a quick wank, isn't it? It's lovely.
We made the point in about 2.5 minutes or less?
Yeah, well,
Perfect pop song.
average British male love making time.
No comment.
Oh,
oh. Think I'd still be here 42 years later? I think not.
is that why you call me Two Stroke?
Okay, so
Yeah, I had the microphone also between my knees on that one.
yes, yeah. Well, we didn't. It
I
was
was playing the
live.
guitar. I mean, I don't know how the fuck I've done that.
You
but
played the
anyway,
guitar and you sang with the
yeah,
microphone
bent forward like
between your knees.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and played the guitar.
Yep.
I think it's only why it's got one break in it because I was surprised I actually got through that one. Like, but fucking hell, yes,
And
encapsulated.
I was on the drums and drum machine and bass. So it's pretty live, that one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's the fucking moment of terror.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah. So, moving on, fuck me, we're coming towards the end of the show.
Oh my gosh, we're nearly up to date now. Because that was 2010,
Yeah.
Bastard.
Mate, I feel like I've fucking
Off the Death
relived
Trip
that in
album.
a very short space of time, mate.
Yeah, I mean, I can... Each one of them, it's really weird, but each one of them I've been back in wherever we recorded that.
Yeah.
And I can see the
Yeah.
people's faces at
Yes,
the time.
yeah,
and,
bless, yeah.
you know.
Yeah. No, it's
Or
mind
this
blowing.
particular studio that we did it in.
Mind blowing.
or
It's
like-
a shame that a few more of them weren't around really to be old fellas, you know, and so we could sit down and have a brandy and sort of go, fucking hell, did that happen? Never mind. Onward and upwards, mate. You got, you know.
So we come to the last studio album that we've done
Yeah.
to date.
Yeah. There's quite a gap there, you know. It was like Gonzo sort of had gone back to the blues, and Doc somehow wafted back in with a bottle of JD, and we ended up
2012.
jamming. Yeah.
2012.
And
We
then
got back together, and it was great, wasn't it? It was
Oh,
just like
fuck.
no time whatsoever had passed since we'd last worked with him,
Yeah.
and
Oh,
it was
wonderful.
exactly
Thank
like.
fuck.
I mean, we'd stayed in touch over the years, but playing again, it was just like he never left. Really, it was just picked up straight back from where we left off. It was one of those moments. So it was a joy to have him and also Matt live.
Oh, mate, you
playing.
couldn't get any better. The crew as well.
Yeah.
When we left each other at Calais, I was really sad. You know, if it was like a football team, if you like, everybody in every position
after Rat
was...
Rock in 2014,
Yeah, everybody in every position was like
top.
top. It was really sad. You know, lots of kissing, lots of hugging, and oh fuck.
No tongues.
There would have been if it carried on. Oh fuck me. So yeah,
You'd said
I want to record. Yeah,
we've got to record this lineup as
Yeah.
it is. It was with Matt and Doc.
and Doc. Yeah, bless him.
Got to record this
Yeah.
lineup as it is. So
Yeah.
we started working on a few demos, and this particular one, Carcass, I remember that we were sitting
Ran the fire, wasn't it?
it was just Doc and you on the settee. I think I was on the floor,
Yeah, we
as
drum
usual,
machine
on my
and
knees,
that, yeah,
with a little drum machine just as a kind of sketch pad,
yeah.
and
Just
Doc
to get
twanged, and it
come
turned
together
into
really quick.
Carcass.
Yeah.
And at that very moment there was a full moon shining through the window.
He noticed it, didn't he?
So it's like, wow.
He's what's that?
It's the is that a light and
Yeah.
security light or something around the back? He's like, no, that's the full moon. And so we knew that was going to be a moment. So we then worked out a few more bits and pieces towards doing some recording, and we booked into a residential studio so that we could concentrate 100%, all of us, without phones going or any interruptions of any sort. So we
Make
could
a racket
absolutely
and all.
concentrate on what we were doing, and booked in for 4 days.
Yeah.
And Carcass was the third, I think.
Second tune, yeah.
Second tune.
Blood come third, I think.
That we recorded, and it was just like one track, next track, next track, next track. I was like, wow, you know, we basically got 4 tunes done across 4 days, and then we booked in and went back just as well that we captured as much as we did. And Doc was absolutely on fire with the guitar. He turned up with quite a number of guitars, and he used to be quite I want to say quiet guitarist. I don't know that there is.
No.
Well, not that I've worked with anyway.
He definitely come out his fucking shell, didn't he?
But yeah, it was turned up to 11 touch.
Yeah, it was incessant as well. I think, you know, like, fucking hell.
Well, normally he'd lay a guitar track down and you'd have to say to him, oh, you know, do you want to put another track down?
Yeah.
Like some lead or just weird bits or something?
Yeah.
And he'd have to be a bit encouraged, wouldn't he, to actually
Yeah.
do more? It's
Yeah.
like, felt like he was taking over or something.
He weren't like that.
No,
He
no
weren't-
such
weren't-
thing.
He weren't a show-off. He weren't a posy guitar sort of merchant. He laid down all his guitar. It took ages to sort out because there was so much of it. He just was never like that before. And he left us plenty to actually get on with and sort out and sift through, like. And there's some great fucking stuff that he put down.
Yeah, so the 4 of us went in with just the 4 of us, and we all
skeleton
did
ideas.
everything.
Yeah.
Basically, Matt ended up being stuck a bit more on the engineering duties.
Thank fuck he could do it, because I mean, me and Doc was more old school, really. I know a bit, but fuck Christ, compared to Matt, you know, don't.
Yeah, it's a bit of a computer whiz.
Yeah.
But Doc would help out setting up microphones, and everybody did whatever they could just on the project. So
He only set the microphones up once, because the rest of the fucking time he was blasting away on the guitar, and we couldn't get fucking. It's like, shut up, fucking Simon, shut up for a fucking second. We try and get the fucking song down. Huh? What?
excuse me, I've got a keyboard line that needs putting on it.
Yeah. It's
Oh, yeah, you can go back to the guitar in a minute. Okay.
yeah.
So it was
Yeah.
great. So all the whole Possessed album again
he got it out of his system.
was a moment again, capturing as much as we could live.
Like all the other records, you know, fucking hell, wow.
The Alien Sex Fiend Radio Show.
2018. It is. It is. I think it was Doc's tribute to Black Sabbath sort of thing. He just sort of got lower and lower tones and lower and fucking.
It's great, isn't it?
Oh, he was a great guitar player. Jesus Christ, he could do stuff. Honestly, fucking hell. And he weren't a show off. You know, he could feel it. Yeah.
That middle bit.
He was a great interpreter.
Yeah, I was saying when you were making the tea about you played the guitar on B.B.F.C. So on a couple of things that you come up with, like Zombiefied original riff, when you showed Doc, he sort of interpreted that,
mate,
you know,
yeah,
and that
took it.
added. But he'd add to it as well, wouldn't he?
Yeah, he'd give it something. He was a good guy.
Take your basics and kind of, because you're unorthodox the way you play a lot of the time.
He was a great bloke, you know. We had great times, didn't we? Really, and it went on for quite a while. You know, you don't. A lot of people don't stay married for 2 or 3 years. I mean, we were pretty much married to him, you know. Pretty much there for dinner, fucking, you know.
Oh, 80s, 90s time, yeah. Oh, yeah.
After
yeah.
dinner spliff, you know. Bless him.
Yeah. So, but as you listen to this, hopefully, if all goes according to plan, there should.
Yeah.
Dare I say it?
No.
Dare I say it? Should I say it? There should be a Carcass lyric video released.
Oh yes.
On November the 8th, which is coinciding with the Possessed album's 2nd anniversary.
Right.
So that's definitely worth checking out because
Oh fuck yeah.
we've worked on it and it's featuring Nik's artwork and lyrics, bits from the artwork of the album, the vinyl gatefold or the CD booklet,
Even little
plus other
sketches
stuff
that I did, you know, like
in and around.
Yeah, and also the lead up, you know, thinking about it. Like we said, we come off the road. I had mad little drawings, ideas, and took a while to come together. But you know, fucking hell, we've been at it a long while. The fact we can still take part and still have ideas and see it through. And as somebody said, you know, people over 60, you know, generally shouldn't be making music. And that ain't the fucking case here, like, fucking hell.
Well, that's a review to have, isn't it? For Possessed.
You sort of meant to, you know, like, get your
Mellow.
pipe and slippers and go, oh, you know, sort of, here's something approachable. Like,
Take to your rocking chair.
Yeah.
Can't do it, can we?
No, because I remember Doc saying, you do realise we're old, and I just laughed, because I thought, well, that's what happens to everybody, isn't it? Yeah, if you're lucky. Yeah. I also grabbed his hand. I told him I loved him. I wouldn't have done that, you know, 40 years ago. So the world's a better place in certain respects, sort of thing. And in your better moments, I think, you know, getting older and then like being lucky enough to reflect back over what we've done.
Well, this is a very, very potted history. I mean, let's face it. We could do an entire couple of hours.
It's stepping stones
about,
over a very deep river.
Yeah, a couple of hours about one album, let alone just the days of the Batcave.
I could probably talk about 2 hours about Ignore the Machine. Do you know what I mean? I possibly have. Yeah. No, I'm just as stunned as anybody else, sort of thing. You know,
yeah,
so.
where it all started.
How?
The steps it went through, and so this is just one angle. We could do an entirely different show, come up with an entirely different
we might do
bunch
but
of stories and entirely different tracks, and there could be, you know, it could run forever.
Well, it could do, or like I said, there's still stuff that we want to do
in the future.
Yeah, it's lovely. It's lovely to reminisce, but you can't stay in. Well, I don't want to stay in the past. I'm proud of what I've done, but
all of it. Yeah.
I'd like to. You know, I'm not ready to hang my boots up unless, you know, I don't know that my number's up. That's all. Yeah. Onward and upward.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, if possible.
Absolutely. Rock on.
Yeah, more.
So more to come. Stay tuned to this Fiend channel.
Yo.
And see you on the other side.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. We have to have a little theme tune of some sort.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. I'll try and find a quick spaceship for you. The space gun's not working. I did check it earlier, but we could have this.
Oh.
Ooh,
Oh yeah. Ghost in the Machine.
as used on Ghost in the Machine.
Yeah, Possessed.
Yeah, and oh, hang on. Quick bit of
Oh. Yeah. In and out.
no. This one. It's a froggy.
Oh.
Got to get back.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's what we hope to do. Get back.
Mm.
Got to get back to rock and roll at some point.
Touchwood.
Hopefully. See you then.
Ta-ra!